The people of Bahrain have been protesting since February of this year, and recent reports indicate that more than 30 people have been killed during these protests. There have been huge cases of violence. In fact, there are some cases where people are being burned alive. It's getting very, very violent. And what's interesting to see is the U.S. government's response to it. So you would think the government in the U.S. would condemn the Bahraini government for doing what they're doing, right? Mm-hmm. But that's actually not the case at all. It turns out that on September 14th of this year, we sent Bahrain a package of arms worth $53 million.
Of course! Now, I wouldn't have thought we would condemn Bahrain at all. Now, why is that? Because Bahrain is next to Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is totally behind Bahrain. They don't want the Shiites in Bahrain to gain control. They support the Sunni government of Bahrain. Saudi Arabia cares deeply about this. And if Saudi Arabia cares deeply about something, so do we. After Israel, Saudi Arabia is the second most powerful ally that we have. The United Kingdom, Canada, etc. Who cares? Saudi Arabia said something? Yes. What do you need? You need weapons to put down democratic protesters in Bahrain? Done. Not even a question.
You know, it's interesting because I think this case perfectly outlines the realism in IR, in international relations, right? Because no matter what, regardless of what our human rights beliefs are here in the United States, all it really comes down to is who are our allies, what can we do to serve our self-interest? And that's the case right here. I mean,
of course.
I know. But what's amazing about that is that still till this day, you have political scholars that are debating about realism versus liberalism. No, liberalism doesn't make sense in international relations.
No. Look, to be fair, there is some balancing act, right? Because we have this ideology that we put across to the world, and we do care about it to some limited degree, and we certainly at least pretend to care about it.
Pretend to care about it.
Right.
I think it's...
But in terms of what's more important, it's not even close, right? So in making real life decisions in our foreign policy. So Saudi Arabia, talk about human rights abuses. First of all, half of their population, females, have almost no rights whatsoever. The other day, a news story came out. They will allow some women to vote in some elections, local elections, in 2015. Are they not merciful, right? But women are still not allowed to drive, et cetera, et cetera.
Women are getting arrested for protesting that and getting behind a wheel and driving right now.
15 out of the 19 hijackers on 9/11 were Saudis. And what did we do? We did a program where we gathered up all the Saudis. Michael Moore didn't make this up. He reported on it. It's true. We gathered up all the important Saudis in the country and made sure they got out of here safe before the FBI even talked to them. Why? Because the oil in Saudi Arabia is more important to us than anything else. Bahraini citizens getting killed by their government. Who cares? We didn't even care about our own citizens when they got killed by Saudis in 9/11. Who do you think funded 9/11? Largely Saudi, not only citizens, but oftentimes royalty who was connected to the government. That's who did. By the way, the number one funder of Iraqi insurgents killing our troops in the height of the Iraq War, the Saudis. And we still didn't care because more important than almost anything else is the oil.
Of course.